Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here because yes, I was absent for 1 month and I just wanted to tell you sorry for my absence because actually January was for me not so easy month. I just decided to take a month for relaxation from my channel because I wanted to know what I want to see on my channel, what vlogs I want to do, what books and genres I want to read, what would be the path on my vlogs and the path of my channel totally. So actually January was for me like relaxing moment. I just enjoyed my books, I enjoyed my holidays, enjoyed the months, enjoyed the relationship with my pets and so on. So I decided just to take a small stop moment in a long way of my doing my channel. So actually, yeah, I read a lot of wonderful books in January without any plans, without any points which I wanted to do or make. I just went to my bookshelf and decided what books would be the next, and I really love to do this every year. And today I wanted to tell you about my plans of 2025 because actually every year I start to do and make them and start to read books from my plans from February, and I have mostly 11 books every year because I wanted to make more comfortable for myself all my plans, and I wanted to see in December that all my list of books which I would I have chosen in January was just read and I just enjoyed them, and I actually decided to continue to do my idea and have 11 books every year, so this year also wouldn't be the different. And today I will tell you about 11 books which is in the thriller and detective genre. I decided that I'm a bit tired about all tens which I have around me, and I decided that I would be just in a relaxed chilling moment. 2025 would be my best friend in doing this one, and I decided to have only 11 books in a detective and thriller, like in a genre which I really love. So I wanted to start with the wonderful story Linwood Barkley and its Elevator Peach. I just wanted to know how I will feel with this author because in my plans I decided to take two of his books. The first one, this one, because annotation is perfect and it's so interesting, and I really wanted to read this in the period of my vacation without my job, without any other stress moments, because I understood that I really love and I could love this story by the annotation. So here we have a situation which can happen in New York and Manhattan with the skyscrapers, because elevators would be fall down and police start to think that this is serial killer who just connect with elevators, and after some period they will understood that yeah, it's the true story, because they would start understand that elevators fell down not just occasionally, and it's not just surprisingly, and a lot of people would be scared to go for the job because they work in the skyscrapers and they need to go upper floors, and for them it would be so problematic. And they also police would understand that the main idea of this bad person is to make a big falling of these elevators in a one day of the week, and as I understood it would be happen just during one week. And I actually just excited about studying this story because I just feel that it's something interesting, because I'm like a person I really afraid elevators. So yeah, it would be twice scary for me. So the next story, it would be also Linwood Barkley and his story No Safe House, and it would be connect with the family. I love family thrillers, I love family drama, and here we would have a family which consists from the mom, dad and two kids, and they're not in a good relationship, they don't have a lot of money, and they just new in this district. And in one moment the girl, she's a teenager, she will go outside and she would be a victim of a crime, and after from this moment the whole life of these members of the family will turn down. It would be the black days for them, because they will feel that something bad happens soon with them, and they will try to escape from this moment. They will try to save and to be not killed, because they start to think that somebody wanted to kill them. Also, I decided to take classical detective, and I wanted to read the next story, Agatha Christie, and it's a Dumb Witness. It's a story which connects with the pet and with some strange death of the lady. In the beginning, we start to understand that something wrong with her because she just fell down from the stairs, and a lot of people in her family started to tell her that it was just surprisingly moment for everybody, and they start to think that probably it's the dog who was guilty, and because he just put his ball on the stairs, and the owner, she didn't see it and just fell down. But after some period, this lady started to think that it's not so easy, not so everything so easy to understand what's going on, and she's wanted to tell the detective about thing which can happen with you about this moment, and she wrote a letter to Poirot with this information. But after some period, when Poirot just got this letter and he decided to help this lady, the lady died. How, what's happened, nobody knows, and it would be another secret for the Poirot, and he decided to find the truth in this story. So I love Agatha Christie. Every year I try to read one or two her books because of the atmosphere, because of the interesting classical detective stories about the characters, because actually I like Poirot. I watched a lot of serials about him, and actually I'm a fan of this character, and I hope that the story would be really cool. So the next story which I wanna read, it would be Georgina Cross and Nanny Needed. I love stories about nannies. I love stories about young girls who just had to work nannies. I love stories about girls who just moved to another city and they decided to work a bit because they try to find something better, because probably they wanted to be actress, but they need some money and they need to go for some work hours like a nanny. In this story, I really love the idea that we have our main character girl. She is ambitious, she's pretty, she's really beautiful, and she wanted to be actress, and she moved to New York and she wanted to be successful. But after some period, she started to think that she needs some money for her life and decided to go for a workplace, for working a bit like a nanny. And she just signed a contract with a family about to be a nanny with the small girl, if I'm not mistaken. And after some period, she started to think that something wrong with this contract. It's very strict and she couldn't have an idea to tell everybody about this contract, about the family, about where does she work, about moments why she is in this house or where she is in a moment. So she need to put everything in a secret, and she started to be so suspicious in this moment and start to think what's going on and feel that she's in a trouble. So I really love the annotation of the story. I hope it would be really cool, interesting, and I will feel myself really involved in the story, because actually, yeah, stories about nannies, about strange families or about strange kids, it's just my love. The next story is also so interesting. It's a Hilary Davidson and Her Last Breath story, which connect with family relationships and mostly relationships between husband and wife. We have the idea that sister of a main girl, she died, but before dying she wrote a letter and sent it to the sister, and in the letter was just a writing mark that you will find this letter when I will die or killed. And in this letter she started to tell her sister about troubles, about bad relationships with her husband, about abusing moments, and the last sentence would be like, if I died, that it my husband did. And the sister actually didn't believe in it, because the husband, he's so handsome, he is so wonderful and a kind man, and everybody loves him. And actually she started to think that probably her dead sister, she was mistaken, and probably they had some problems and she wanted to make some negative shadow on the man. But after some period she understood that she needed to be more curious about the situation and try to see more deeply in the situation and try to watch out the husband, because she started to think and feel that something wrong here. So I haven't read nothing from the author, I don't remember this one, but the annotation is really cool. Also, I love the idea that in the story we will have different sides on the story. We will have some chapters from the sister who alive, from sister who died, and some chapters from this husband. So, and we like readers need to understand what is the truth, who is the right, who was the killer, and what was the main problem of the story. In this year I decided to meet with a lot of new authors for me, and I understood that I have not read no one story from Charlotte Link because I actually heard about her. A lot of people said that her thrillers so wonderful, great characters, great atmosphere, really interesting suspense and the secret moments. But actually, I have not read no one. And in this year, I decided to take her the famous story. It's The Watcher, and the story connect with a small town, with the people who live there, and with two houses. In one house will live two brothers and the wife of one husband, and in another house would live a new neighbors, man and a woman. They just moved in the house and they just new in the city, and one of the brothers, she will just fell in love with this girl, and he would watch from her and actually write the diary with all his emotions, all his thoughts about the situation. And after some period of time, man and husband of this lady would die, and nobody know what's going on. They need to understand who was the suspect in this situation, who was the victim of the situation, because the wife of the brother remember about the diary, and actually she has a small secret. She loves to read this diary. She likes to know everything about the brothers, and actually she just know what's happened. So we'll see how will Charlotte Link surprise me, because I actually heard a lot of tons just positive reviews on her stories. So yeah, if I would like this one, of course I will try to find something else and try to read. The next one, it's the story which was like in a show, but it was very popular, but I haven't watched the show. I just wanted to read the book first. It's Javier Castilla, The Chica de Nuevo. It's a story which connects with a missing child, and actually I love reading about missing child, but when we have just detective line, a really cool detective line with investigation, with some cool detectives and so on. But as I understood, in this story we will have more about family relationships, about their feelings, about the situation that they just can't understand how the kid missed, because it was the girl and she was small, but after some period of time parents will just receive a disc with the video about the girl after some period of time, that she is alive, she is okay, she's playing somewhere, and like somebody new with her, but nobody can see who is it. And of course parents start to think that yeah, she is alive, and they will try to find her. So I heard not a lot of positive reviews on this book, but I decided to take it because actually I wanted to watch the show. So the next story which I want to read, it's Dan Brown. I'm a fan of Dan Brown. I love his Angels and Demons. I'm just a fan of this story, and in this year I decided to read his another popular story which is a lot of people really love. It's the Da Vinci Code. I watched only film, and actually I remember this film really wonderfully. I remember that I loved this one. I remember that it was atmosphere really cool, the secrets, the mystery line, and actually I like the main character Robert Langdon because I love him like a person who gives you interesting facts, interesting moments in a investigation, who just running everywhere and try to help somebody find answers and give answers to the reader. So actually I'm a fan of Dan Brown, but I watched on the film about Da Vinci Code, but about the reading, no, I just need to be more deeply in the story. Also, the next story which I want to read, because I just understood and I've heard that it seems like my favorite show, The Bones. I'm a fan of the serial, fan of the characters. They are favorite of all investigation moments which can happen with the serial. And actually I love Temperance Brennan because she was a really pretty for me, really wonderful main character, and I actually believe that she is actually the anthropologist. In this story, which I wanted to read, it would be Venom in the Blood. We have the main character who has the same job like in the show The Bones. She would be a person who can understand the death time, the period of time when the person was dying, with the help of some insects. And actually I remember that in the show we also had such a person. It was really interesting when he just gave you facts about these moments. So that's why I wanted to read the Venom and the Blood, because it's connected with the spiders. I actually don't afraid spiders, and I think it would be really interesting to understand what's going on. The main idea of the annotation just tells us that there are a lot of killings, some murders, and nobody knows what's happened. And our main girl, she needs to understand how they killed, because she starts to understand that near with the places where people just dying or killing, she can found the spider's web. And the spider's web is not just usual spider which can be in the area, it's just some poison spider which just can kill everybody, and she needs to find it, as I understood. So let's see. And also I wanted to read another story which is really interesting by the annotation. It's Little Comfort, Edwin Hill, story which connect with a librarian, and she would be our main character. I actually don't remember when I just read stories about librarian who can be like a detective and they have detective skills. In the story we will have a main girl. She is so clever, she is so kind, and she tried to help people not to find just books in the library. She wanted to try help them with the understanding what's going on with the missing relatives, with the missing members of the family, or just try to find somebody who just missed from the city. And in this story we just start have a problem about what's going on with the person, with a teenager who just missed, and nobody can understand what's going on, where is he killed or alive, where is he actually in the small town state or just moved somewhere. And the main character just decided to find him, and in annotation we have information that she found him, but he doesn't want to come back to the small town. So we will have here also a secret of a small town. I love such stories. I'm a fan of a secret, small town, some missing people. Yeah, I think it would be a really cool story. And the last story which I want to read in 2025, it would be the popular author with a lot of popular books, but I decided not to take the popular story. I talk about Soji Shimada. I decided not to take his Tokyo Zodiac or the Crooked House, because I actually understood that if I would take something popular, I will love this one, but I wanted to understand my feelings with the author firstly, so that's why I decided to take unpopular story. But I know that a lot of people love them, and I have not read no one story for all these years, which I really love to read detective and thrillers. So when I decided to take his story Crystal Pyramid, it's a story which is really interesting by annotation about the tower. It's very tall and nobody can go there, so it's unpermitted, and there are a lot of security because they just wanted to see and watch for everybody who just go closer to this tower. So actually I don't know what's wrong with this tower, but nobody can go there. But in one moment on the top of this tower there would be found a dead body of the famous person, and he just in a pose like a swimming in a swimming pool, and nobody can understand what's going on, what's wrong with the pose, with the dead body. And the main secret, how is this body on this top? How? What's wrong? Who would be the suspect in this murdering or killing or some other strange death? So I don't know what to expect from Soji Shimada, but I heard that there are a lot of twists, a lot of plot interesting moments, a lot of great characters, and I heard that it's some kind of a detective where you need to try to be detective your own, to try your detective skills, because the author in the beginning gives you everything, all things which he knows, all details, and you need to understand are you right or not. So actually I have not read such stories, and it would be my first story in such genre. So let's see. Anyway, I told you today about 11 books which I will read in 2025. I really excited all these books. I really wanted to read them all, and I just will wait every month for understanding what book I want to read, because actually I don't like to make a plan. I just don't like to make a TBR jar. I just don't want to make other random moments which can help to understand what next book will I read in next month. I decided to I'll go to my shelves, to all my books, with the idea that every time when the new month will start, I just come and with my feelings, with my mood, try to understand what book would be written in this month. So in February, I decided to read story about spiders, venom and the blood, because I'm just curious about the story. I'm just wanted to be in a wonderful wave of detective lines, and I wanted to feel the moments and some flashbacks which I had during the watching my favorite show, The Bone. So actually, we'll see. If you haven't read Venom and the Blood, but you wanted, just let me know. Probably we will read it together, and just in the end of the month, we will just share our ideas and our feelings. So also don't forget, tell me about your plans for 2025. What you decided to read? Do you have a plan, or maybe you decided to read freely and don't have any plans for this year, just enjoying the reading? Also, don't forget to subscribe my channel, put some comments, some likes. It would be really cool for myself and really wonderful for my channel. Thanks for watching my videos. Bye!